Just past the halfway mark here at the Wake County Speedway with the Dumbitson Ford Super Late Model still out in front. Car number 15, Joe Heigl out of Clayton, North Carolina. Sitting in the number 2nd spot is the 21, Curtis Simpkins, 34, David Clark. Then you got Charlie Stevenson in car number 85. Curtis Simpkins in the 3, Alex Fleming in the 0-5 to go. With time running out, back in the 1. Heigl out in front, clear sailing. Randy Renfro sits in 2nd. David Clark is in 3rd. As here comes the field out of 4 to the line. It'll be 3 laps to go with Joe Heigl still leading in commanding fashions. Everybody single file around the racetrack. Nobody breaking out of line. Aaron Champion drops to the bottom of the apron one more time as Curtis Simpkins trying to get the pass on him. 2 laps to go with Joe Heigl out of the 2nd corner. There's your top 3, all right there with one another, but a 5-car length lead separates Heigl and Renfro 1 and 2. There's the white flag. One more lap to go from Felix atop the starter stand as they go into turn 1. Joe Heigl in the black number 15. He's ran super trucks. He's ran late models at Kenley, Dillon, and Wake County Speedway. He'll come out of turn 4 and go 2 in a row in the Dumbitson Ford super late models here at the Wake County Speedway. 2nd spot's going to go to the man Randy Renfro in car number 21, 3rd to car number 34 out of Raleigh, North Carolina, David Clark. Lightnin Fast Adventures here at the Wake County Speedway. The Dumbitson Ford Super Late Models have just finished up with their 50-lap A-main, and in the end, car number 15, double downs, if you want to call it poker. Hockey terminology, as hockey's just around the corner. Joe Heigl out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and I've known this man a long time as well. And Joe, I know you got to say you're happy to break through into victory lane for 2 in a row this year.
Absolutely, it's been hard. We worked a lot and been beat a lot, and finally we kind of hit on something and it seemed to work. And I just want to thank everybody that helps me every week. Michael, Ellis, my wife, Chris, Greg, Brian, everybody that helps us work on this thing and work every week. Also want to thank Performance Auto Body for sponsoring us, as well as Furniture for Less.
And of course, not only does he run here at Wake County Speedway, but he also makes the trip to Ron Barfield's facility, Dillon Motor Speedway in Dillon, South Carolina, and other tracks you've raced at in the past, Southern National. You got quite a resume.
Yeah, we run a lot. We just happen to be close to here, and we like coming out here, and we really hope that the track will prosper. I know they've had some hard times, and hopefully they can get some more cars and some more fans out here, but we do enjoy running at other places as well.
Normally Randy Renfro's a pretty good veteran driver, but you pretty much hauled the mail with him tonight in the 15 ride.
Yeah, Randy put the pressure on us, and we were able to respond and hold him off, but he's getting better every week, and so has David. Stumbled a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be back next week as well. But it's definitely some good competition out here in these cars.
Last but not least, Joe, throw out your sponsors, your family, everybody that got you here for 2 wins in a row in the late models.
Yeah, again, that's Performance Auto Body. He sponsors us every week, as well as Furniture for Less. And I really want to thank my wife. She puts up with us racing every weekend. Also, I want to thank Michael Ellis. He works on this thing every week along with our other stuff and is with us every time we race. Also want to thank Greg, as well as Chris that comes with us.
We're going to talk to the man in car number 85, a legend that's been racing here at the quarter-mile bull ring for so long, the Quality Lighting Protection Service, car number 85, Charlie Stevenson. Charlie, man, it's good to see you again, and you're still hanging out. Everybody says every year you're going to retire, but you bring this 85 back out for another year.
Oh, yeah, probably this year going to do it. We still like to race, but I just don't like to work on them like I used to, and I don't keep the car up like I should, but we stayed with them about 35 laps tonight, and then the car got tight, and it was a push tight, and then a loose, and they pulled away from it in, but we still ran pretty good.
And, of course, talk about the race tonight, because you were kind of hanging back there in the top 5.
Well, it was a pretty interesting race. David and Randy and Joe was racing pretty hard, and I was sort of hanging back about 10 car lengths because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was going to give me a little room in case they got together, but at the end there, they pulled away pretty good.
And you honestly know the truth of that question. Anything can happen here at the Wake County Speedway, the nickname the quarter-mile bull ring.
Oh yeah, but it usually happens when you really don't expect it. If you sit back and expect it, it doesn't happen normally.
And of course, that's Charlie Stevenson, driver car number 85. And now I'm going to talk to another good buddy of mine, Matt Jones out of Clayton, North Carolina. And he got married, and is there a kid yet?
Oh yeah, got 2
kids now. Last time I saw him was at a Christmas parade in Clayton for the WARZ people. But talk about what you're doing these days, because in his heyday, or he's still in his heyday, but he used to be a very good super late model driver. Matt, how's your what you doing now?
I'm just old washed up has-been. I just Charlie's my father-in-law, so I come out here and help him out and have fun. I miss it, but it's, you know, I got to buy diapers and formula instead of tires, and I still got my car, but it's just, you know, sitting there looking for somebody to buy it.
And of course, he drove the black number 59 back at Southern National, East Carolina, Coastal Plains. Talk about, is it just pretty much the economy is just affecting you as well as much as everybody else in racing?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I never had a whole lot of money to race with anyway, but before I got married and all, you know, I could spend my whole paycheck racing, and now, you know, there's light bills, house payments, and you know, little youngins, so that kind of before it took everything I made. Now it takes everything I make, you know, just to survive. So maybe one day, you know, things turn around, might drag it back out, knock the dust off of it, and bring it out here. But it's going to sit up for a while, I'm sure.
In the pits with Lightnin Fast Adventures, with a man that's a veteran that's still wheeling the car, and a man that has who's a talent behind the wheel. Matt Jones, Charlie Stevenson here in the pits at Wake County Speedway. Joining me to my left is Larry Walls. He is the promoter of the Walls Roof and U-Car Clash for the Cash Series. And, of course, you know, Lightnin Fast Adventures covers the grassroots of stock car racing, not about, you know, the NASCAR, the big-time level, but what it takes to make it to the upper echelons in the sport. And he's got a series that proves just that. And talk about the U-Car Clash on Lightnin Fast Adventures, Larry.
Well, we're definitely grassroots. We go back to the beginning of how it all started with a pure stock automobile, stock street tires on them, stock suspension. We average, our biggest race is around 30 cars per race. We're averaging about 20 cars now, and we got a big deal coming up this year called the Triple Crown. It starts at North Wilkesboro on October 31st. Then we'll be here at Wake County Speedway on November 6th, and then at Dillon, South Carolina for our championship race November 13th and 14th, and we're expecting big turnouts for all 3.
And not only has the U-Car Clash ran at tracks in this vicinity, they ran at Corbin, Kentucky for a big national event. Also, they run on the dirt at County Line Raceway, Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Matter of fact, you were at Fayetteville last Saturday. How'd it go?
Oh, absolutely. We started 14 cars. We ended with 7, had 2 to flip. We put the best show on I've seen all season. I hate we messed the cars up like we did, but you know something, they come to see the wrecks, and we put a show on full of them.
And, of course, it is for the folks that want to get into the upper echelons of traveling with a touring series at a very affordable cost. Go ahead and plug out your well, of course, Walls Roofing is the sponsor right there on his shirt. He backs the whole thing up. But talk about your website, and if anybody tuned in on Lightnin Fast Adventures wants to get more in depth with what you're doing.
All right, our website is www.ucarclash.com, ucarclash.com. We're also on Facebook and local race chat. Another thing I want to announce while we got the time here is next year the Triple Crown will consist of 1 dirt, 1 asphalt, and 1 road course. So it'll be a true Triple Crown next year for the championship.
Yeah, and I forgot all about that. They actually raced at VIR, Virginia International Raceway, too. Larry Walls, the man who promotes the Walls Roof and U-Car Clash for the Cash here on Lightnin Fast Adventures at the quarter-mile bull ring in Wake County Speedway.
Great night here at the track. Lots of fans, lots of cars. Wesley, it was awesome seeing some of the limiteds and some of the lates run around this track. It's a quarter-mile bull ring, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was a great night of racing, Marcus, and I'll tell you what, it just, you know, tonight is the night for high school football to get started up, and, you know, Miss Ginger Pleasance, who we had on here earlier on Lightnin Fast Adventures, was concerned about what type of turnout would be with the starting of high school football starting up, but I think they're happy with the turnout, and, you know, they have an 11:30 curfew. They're out here an hour. They're done an hour before, you know, their curfew. So it was a great night of racing, a lot of racing excitement. Of course, you're going to see some of the highlights on Lightnin Fast Adventures. Joe Heigl, man, in the super late model, breaking through 2 straight wins in a row. He won back 2 weeks ago because they were off last Friday night. But, man, just super great night of racing. And